Happy birthday to you. Hey everybody, it is my Booktube birthday today. This marks 1 year since I first uploaded my Booktube newbie tag, and since then it has been an amazing journey with meeting so many new people and being able to talk about books with all of you and just having this awesome community. Something that started as a hobby that I hoped would eventually pick up a little bit has now turned into a part of my everyday life and something that I just can't imagine not doing anymore. My Booktube friends and community have become such an integral part of everything that I do on a weekly basis now that I just thank you guys so much. I really genuinely mean that. I've been hoping to become part and foster a community like this for like over a decade now, and this is really legitimately a dream come true. Thank you guys so much. For my Booktube birthday, I thought I would do one of those silly videos where I allow you to just submit assumptions that you have about me, and then I'll answer them whether they're true or not. I was afraid, as I always am, when I put out a request for community responses that I wasn't going to get any. Folks, we got too many. I got so many responses, I'm not going to be able to go through all of them. I was going to make jokes and be like, well, I got 99 responses. I got more than that. I got so many responses, guys. I'm just going to start going through them until I'm done or whatever. I hope that this is entertaining for you. I think it's going to be fun. It's weird because I have looked at these. It's weird how weirdly accurate some of these are. I don't think I've talked about some of this stuff. You guys are really good at guessing some of this stuff. Other stuff, you're way off. So let's start off with the first response. First off, it's a sappy one. It says, "You're as fun in real life as you are online." Probably not. I can't edit myself in real life. But thank you for the sentiment. Number 2, you hate confrontation and won't even point out if a restaurant gets your order wrong. Yeah, that's mostly true. If it's really, really, really far off, I probably will be like, hey, I hate to bother you, but this is not what I ordered. Can I like get a different thing? Like, I try to be apologetic about it because I know that it sucks. I've worked in customer service for a very long time. I get it. I try to be kind about it. If it's not that big of a deal, yeah, I'll just suck it up. You are not a human. Not liking chocolate. Dead giveaway. Fair. Next up, I assume you get 4 hours or less of sleep a night. As much as I say, you know, in the outro, I do the sleep never get enough song, which by the way, I don't think a lot of people know that. That's a cover. I did a cover of the song Sleep by Riley Armstrong. That's what's playing at the outro of this video. And all of the other most of the other videos. I have small children that don't sleep great during the night, and I also work a full-time job, and I try to spend time with the children when they're awake. So generally speaking, the nights that I make videos, I usually make one video a night on the nights that I decide I'm going to do that, usually 2 nights a week. I end up staying up fairly late and then usually have to wake up during the night, whatever. I don't actually clock my sleep anymore because I found that not knowing helps. Like, not knowing how little I'm sleeping helps. I just go through the day and do my thing. I really only in my like actual scheduled life have about 6 hours of sleep scheduled because I try to sleep from midnight to 6, but realistically it usually ends up being less than that, especially on video nights, so I try not to think about it. Next, I assume that you like reading your kids bedtime stories. I do. I don't really read them bedtime stories usually. I have 3 children. The way that we've sort of naturally formulated their bedtime, like partially on purpose and partially because of survival mode, is I end up tucking all of the children in bed, but I usually don't read them bedtime stories. Actually, I take that back. Amanda tucks the nursing baby in bed the first time. Then I tuck my son in. He doesn't like stories. I actually was like, hey, do you want me to sing you a song? Do you want me to read you a story? He's like, no, just put me in bed. And I did that for probably a month, and then it just became a normal thing. So we go into the bedroom together. I hand him his little water bottle. I lay him in bed. I tell him goodnight. He doesn't like a whole routine. His sister likes a whole routine. We sing songs, etc. Usually by the time I'm tucking his sister in, the baby sister wakes up, so I tuck her in too. I don't usually do bedtime stories while I'm tucking in the little kids. Amanda will read a bedtime story to Molly. I do like reading books to the kids when they're awake, though. I try to do that as much as possible, honestly, because when I come home from work, I'm very tired, and it's a way to occupy the children without having to be super high energy all the time. You seem like the type of colleague that starts singing songs at work for no reason and then gets songs stuck in my head. The way that that's worded almost sounds like it was written by one of my coworkers. I don't think that it was. But yeah, you got me. I sing all the time. If a song is ever played in a clip of a video, or somebody plays a TikTok on their phone or whatever, the song gets stuck in my head, I'll start singing it. Sometimes that happens before I go to work and I'll walk into the office singing a song. You got me. Next up, you are a Christian, probably Catholic. Yes, And no, Protestant. Next, you were married young. Yes, I was married at 20 years old. I don't think that is for everyone. I definitely think that was for me. I don't regret it at all. I've known my wife for basically my whole life. We've been friends and then we fell in love. I got married early and I wouldn't change any of that ever. You do be wearing hats though, was something that somebody submitted. That is accurate. Though, I will say, I almost forgot to put my hat on for this video. Once I was doing a video check for one of these that I was going to film, and I forgot to put my hat on, and then when I went to check the footage, I was like, why? Oh, I can't, because I have become accustomed to solely seeing myself in video form wearing a hat. That's what Booktube has done to me. Reading is only one of your passions. You are equally or more passionate about other topics. You called that. I'm curious how you called that. Did you hear me talking about stuff on Discord? Did you pick that up through the videos? I'm curious. Yes, video games are something I've been passionate about my whole life. And also, music is something that I can get extremely passionate about from time to time. I'm the type of person that when I get into something, I go all in. This has been true on Booktube, but my whole life it's mostly been true with video games and music. I could probably go into lots of stories, like the time that I spent an entire first quarter of a year trying to listen to every single album that came out on any major streaming service, list of new albums that I had. So I would write down the 30 to 50 new albums a week that came out. I would listen to them and be able to formulate an opinion on them. I wanted it to be more than background. I don't remember anything about this album, so I would listen to them actively and then try to form a little bit of an opinion on them. And it helped me grasp music in a way that was completely different from anything I had done before. I highly recommend it. It's a lot of work though. Totally worth it. Next, you watched McGee and Me as a child. Yeah, I mean, I guess I talk about being a Christian, so yeah, I guess that's not too far of a stretch, but it is a weird callback, but it's true. I did watch McGee and Me as a child. Next, your favorite Marvel hero is either Captain America or the Hulk. That's not true. Though I do love Captain America, it's Spider-Man. It's always been Spider-Man. I relate to him on that real nerdy level. Carpet over hardwood. Yes, because it's warmer. Also, it cancels echoes better. I don't like the echoiness. Carpet's just, it's more comfy. Next up, you were psyched when Paramore got back together for another album, but you didn't like the album. Not true. Well, maybe not true. If you're talking about the self-titled 2013 Paramore album, I freaking loved that album so much. If you're talking about the newer Paramore album, I think it was 2017, that had Hard Times, no, I didn't like that one, but it has mostly to do with the fact that I have an internal bias against 80s or super 80s inspired music. There's a lot of music from the 80s that I love, but as a rule, I think when I see 80s, it turns me off. I know it's unfair. I'm sorry to people out there that like 80s music, but sometimes I'm like, dang, it's so corny. Oh. Next, your favorite book genre is video games. I don't like video game novels usually, though there's a couple good ones. The Mass Effect books are okay. There's some interesting stuff in the Diablo or Warcraft worlds, but yeah, I really like video games. Next, there's like a 60% chance you're homeschooled. I'm curious if this is someone that knows me or if that's the vibe that I give off super strongly. Yeah, I was homeschooled all the way through. If you were reincarnated, you come back as a big dog. I would definitely be cool with big dog, though dragon is always my first choice. Dragons are the coolest animals. Big dogs would probably come in second. Next, if everybody hates something popular, you try to search for the reason on why it's popular. That one feels scarily accurate because I don't feel like I talk about do I say that? How would people know that about me? I think it's true. Whenever I find out about something is popular, whether people love it or hate it, I always try to understand why. That's extremely interesting to me, and it feels weird that one of you people out there knows that about me when I don't feel like I've ever really expressed it or vocalized it. Yeah, sure. Next, you like Disney movies. Yeah, I was raised in the 90s. Who doesn't like Disney movies? Some people really dislike Disney movies, and I think that they are living a worse life than they could be. Next up, Pattern is your favorite spren because your channel is full of lies. Pattern is definitely an awesome spren. Still is probably my favorite spren. Is my channel full of lies? Yes, you could probably find numerous instances where I've just straight up lied about things on my channel, usually unintentionally. I apologize again in advance for any lies that I've said here. Next, you went to university. Kind of. I got a 2-year degree. I went to start my 4-year degree. I got a job and then I never finished my 4-year degree. So went, yes. Finished, no. You only speak one language. True. Though when I was a kid, I wasn't in the Air Force. My dad was in the Air Force. We spent time in Okinawa. I guess I was learning Japanese then, but it wasn't something that was reinforced, and we moved back and I forgot all of it. That sucks. I really wish I knew another language now. Next, you make audible reactions to yourself while reading. I asked my wife this to make sure that's not the case unless I laugh. When I am reading, even if it's not something, I don't know, Amanda always thinks that I look angry when I'm reading just because I get really focused, and so I just kind of don't react outside, but inside I feel so many things. Sometimes I cry, but I don't usually like talk. It's not like I talk to my book. Next is, you impulse buy books without really checking to see if you'd like it and then regret buying the books when you hear negative reviews. No, that's not me at all. I do that with a lot of other things. Like I've talked about video games. I have so many more video games than I could ever reasonably hope to play. With books, I pretty much just buy them as I read them, or if I really know I'm going to like them and they go on sale, I'll buy them. I don't have a surplus of books that I haven't read really. Next, you often sing while doing mundane things around the house, or you make up songs. 100%. I often just change the words of regular songs when I'm trying to make my kids laugh, but also I sing all the time. If there's nobody around and I feel more comfortable in my own skin, I'll go to YouTube, I'll pull up the karaoke tracks on YouTube and just try to pretend that I'm a real pop star or something. I assume that you like to eat steak. I do. I prefer burgers. I'm really a burger guy to the core, but steak is good. Next, due to your love of Twilight, I can only assume that you were a fan of the great boy bands, Backstreet Boys or NSYNC, though I think they both have good songs. Live in Wyoming. Wrong, I live in Nebraska. It's both Midwest. Is Wyoming Midwest? Michael is a big softie who loves kittens and puppies, as long as they are not chocolate. I do love both kittens and puppies, even though I have stated on this channel, and some people have given me flack about it, I am more of a dog person, but especially tiny cats are very, very cute. I have a soft spot for the fluffies. In my headcanon, you really liked reading Junie B. Jones books as a kid. I don't know what Junie B. Jones is. I'm sorry, that is incorrect. Next, you seem to be the kind of guy people can come to if they need someone to talk to. I would hope that would be the case. I would like to be, you just call on your brother when you need a hand. We all need somebody to lean on. You crave coffee. Nah. You love people coming from Brussels. Sure, why not? I don't have an opinion really, so sure. I like to say that I start my opinion of most people at a 7. At a 10, I assume people are a 7 until I either learn more about them or talk to them, I like to start on a higher end. And then, so yeah, sure, if I find out somebody's from Brussels, I give them a 7 until I know more about them, I guess. Next, you enjoy listening to podcasts. Definitely 100%. Before I dove way too headlong into Booktube, I was all up into podcasts. I've wanted to make podcasts before. I listened to a lot of different podcasts before I got too heavily into books. I'm trying to transition into being more balanced as a human being and listen to some more podcasts again. But yeah, I freaking love podcasts. The majority of the ones that I listen to are either audio dramas or video game podcasts. Next, you were in band in high school. No, because as I said, I was homeschooled all the way through. I did learn how to play piano. I don't think that counts. My assumption is that if we ever met in real life, we'd be fast friends. At least I'd hope for that. I'd hope for that too, person. I don't know you, but you seem like a chill person, so I would hope so. My assumption is that, like myself, you were a bit awkward when you were growing up and used reading as a form of escape from the brutality that is adolescence. To some degree, that's probably true, just because I was super nerdy, though mostly I found that my comfort was listening to music, different music that I felt was, either conveying the emotion that I wanted to have or telling me the emotion that I did have, and it made me feel comforted. You tried to start a band, but it never caught on. Yeah, I feel like that happened. I mean, it was never in person, but I did try to make recordings with people. I would record a part, send it to them, have them send it back. It was awful. I assume you like to read ebooks better than hard copy books. Yeah, that's true. It just works better for my life. Most of my books are ebooks. It's kind of why I don't film in front of a traditional bookshelf, because most of the books that I own, it's not that many books. It's like 2 shelves worth of books. It doesn't make up an entire background, and most of the books I have are ebooks, so I did this thing. You read more hours a week than you do any other activity, even working. That's true sometimes. Not right now. Lately, I've been having a real rough time reading. It's just been a struggle. You're a big nerd, and that's the best part. No denying that one. But thank you for saying it's the best part. That's overly kind, and flattery will get you anywhere. You would die as a bridgeman. 10,000% I would die on the first bridge run that I went on. I'm not physically fit enough, and frankly, I'm a bigger target for arrows. I'm not short, but I am stout. You're an amazing person? No. False. You read in the bathtub. That sounds kind of rad, but frankly, because of the situation that I described earlier with my sleep, no, I don't trust myself not to drop something. I drop my Kindle when I'm reading on my Kindle approximately 50% of the time. And yes, it says that I can get it wet, but I don't want to test the theory. Also, I just don't take baths that much. Who has time for baths? I assume you don't read nonfiction very much. This year, true. Last year I tried to read more. I like nonfiction. I want to get back to it, but this year has been a whirlwind, and yeah, I've barely read any nonfiction this year. Next, that you moonlight as a stealth ninja working for an evil genius in a plot to take over the world. No. I definitely don't do that. But that's what I would say, isn't it? That you are a mutant and your power is the power of botanic manipulation. Botanikinesis? That would be rad. I don't have that power. I had a really bad garden this year. It didn't go well for me. That you can whistle for 30 seconds in one breath. Not even close. Puns are a guilty pleasure. You don't want to admit it. Bull crap. Puns are, okay, somebody once said that because I didn't like puns, I don't like dad jokes. I am a dad. I'm a father of 3. I do like dad jokes. Puns are like the weakest form of dad jokes. Ask my friends consistently throughout my life growing up. I've constantly belittled them anytime they use puns. I try to publicly humiliate them at any possible turn if someone uses a pun in front of me, because I think that it is a social crime worthy of that punishment. You have at least one beanie you did not get for warmth. How do you know that I have multiple? How do you know that I went through a beanie phase? How do you know? You high-key want to learn the art of axe throwing. I've been axe throwing multiple times. I'm not bad. I'm not good. I'd like to get better. Also weird that you knew it. You don't think book burning in any way, shape, or form is a thing that should ever happen. You just think Smoke was an ironic name. Smoke is a book that I don't like. I don't think the book should be burned. I don't think you should read it. Yeah, I hate book burning. I don't think that should exist. I don't like the idea of censoring books now. You've recorded at least one video without pants. We'll never know. No, I haven't. Your glasses are fake. That's a freaking bold call out. No, they are not fake, but they are basically glorified reading glasses that just have the like screen deflecting thing, because I stare at screens all day and I get migraines if I don't wear them. They're not necessarily, I last time I went to the doctors, I had 20/20 vision without them. Though I feel like it's degrading as I get older. You watched a Name These Pop Punk Songs video, missed 5, and never got over it. Let me tell you, I will never miss 5 songs in a good pop punk compilation video. Pop punk is a genre that I feel very close to. I'm not going to claim to have perfect knowledge of the genre, but if it's anything that's like relevant to the genre, I don't think I'm going to miss 5 songs out of that video. I can't believe you would assume that kind of ridiculousness out of me. You played the saxophone or trumpet in high school? No, but I was friends with people that played both. You likely fit the stereotypes we have about you. Yeah, probably. I mean, it seems like that way from this freaking list. But yeah, that's the Twitter bio that I think is silly. I think it's moderately good looking. It's 6 out of 10. I lowered it from 7 out of 10 the older that I get. I used to feel a strong 7 out of 10 about myself, but I lowered it to 6 out of 10. And then yes, I likely fit the stereotypes you have about me. Clearly you guys know I'm a big freaking nerd, so that seems true. It's not just books that you like, but stories as well. A good story can be told in any medium. 100% absolutely. I'm not a huge movie or TV guy, but I enjoy some movies and TV shows. I definitely enjoy storytelling and like Oh, music especially, and video games. Yeah, definitely. There's a blooper reel we haven't seen. I don't really have blooper reels. If I do something too stupid, I put it in the video because I want to make people laugh. I feel like most of my blooper reels would be this. I would say a sentence, and then I would say a sentence, and then I would. That's most of my bloopers. I don't think it's that funny. It just makes me look really stupid. You have brands of root beer tiered? Yep, I do. I'm a big, like, if we're, and it's like different, right? Because you have the specialty ones and you also have the mainstream ones. If you're gonna go through mainstream party root beers, always go A&W every time. Mug is garbage. Don't at me. Boxer briefs. Yeah. How did you know? Get out of my flippin' head, people. That's so weird. You already know the car you're going to get in your midlife crisis. I started a Booktube channel for my midlife crisis. I don't really care about cars too much. I mean, I do love like the Fast and the Furious, and I do love like video games with cars in them, but I don't really my car in real life is just like a really old Honda Accord. You didn't watch the last of Yu-Gi-Oh until well into your adult years. That is a weird question. I've never watched Yu-Gi-Oh or played the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. As a nerd, I feel like I've made a mistake. You've always dreamed of being the lead singer in a Christian rock band. Somebody that knows me had to have said that because there's multiple layers of things that were there, but Switchfoot is my favorite band, and I would love to be co-lead singer of Switchfoot with John Foreman. I would love it so much. You don't have a lot of time for reading, but you still make time, and that's awesome. Sometimes I don't even make time for it. I'm the worst booktuber there is. You love editing your videos. Most of the time, I do. Most of the time, yeah. You really want to try the Hot Ones hot sauce gauntlet even though you know it will lead to your death. 100% true. I love spicy food, but compared to average people, I think I like spicier food than like the average person that I know at least. But for people that like super spicy food, I'm a giant baby. So yeah, I love spicy food. I think it tastes really good. I remember going to a friend's house and his mom made some really spicy salsa and I ate it and it was so freaking hot that I was like crying and she's like, you don't have to eat it. You don't have to be polite. I'm like, no, but it tastes good. I'm a baby about it. Yeah, that would be so cool. You've been tased. No, but I have done the thing where like a dog had a shock collar for their barking thing and I didn't put it on my neck because I'm not an idiot, but I did put it in my hand and we tried the different shock levels. If you included video game guides, your books already read would be doubled, not doubled, significantly increased. You enjoy blessing the rains down in Africa. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. You've lost about 5+ watches in your life, but never had the time to find them. I've worn watches forever. I like to wear a watch. I don't think I've ever lost a watch except maybe when I was so little that I don't remember it. I would never lose a watch like that. That's a weird and mean thing to say about me. You've gotten over your fear of hurdles? What? No, I would never get over that. It's not a bad fear, it's a real fear. You're a very genuine person. Thank you very much. I hope so. I try to be. You secretly really enjoy reading YA. I feel like I don't secretly enjoy it. Like, some YA I really like. I talked about Scythe, which I really liked when I read it. I changed my mind on it some later. I like Six of Crows. I enjoyed Twilight. It's not really a secret. It's not what I go to usually, but I don't have beef with it necessarily. Whether you are reading a YA book or an adult book, you don't really treat them differently. I don't know. That's a weird question. I try to treat a book like it's, I don't know, like I try to both see like the target audience that it's written for and how much it affects me. I try to be really empathetic about what the book is trying to tell me. I guess in that way, I don't really treat them differently. YA treats, its target audience is different. So I don't know how to answer that one. You're the totally opposite of Murphy and you love every romance in the books that you have read. I don't love every romance in the books that I've read, but I tend to like romance. I like to see characters falling in love. What am I gonna do? You've already listened twice to all 16 chapters and the prologue of Rhythm of War. No, I'm not betraying my people. I am maintaining purity until the book is actually released. Just kidding. Before the book is actually going to be released, I'm going to try to binge those chapters so I can kind of go straight into it because I'm trying to read Rhythm of War as fast as possible after it's released. So yeah, I'll probably start them early, but I haven't read them yet. I've maintained complete separation from the early access chapters. You're afraid of reviewing The Lord of the Rings on your channel? What the heck is that? You calling me out? No, I have no beef with reviewing Lord of the Rings. It's been a very long time since I've read it. I will review it when I reread it, but I haven't reread it in a very long time. I remember loving Lord of the Rings. I don't think everyone has to love Lord of the Rings. Some people do think that, but I don't think that. I love it myself. You prefer epic fantasy over urban fantasy and sci-fi? Yeah, I mean, that seems apparent. I do like those other genres, but epic fantasy, I just naturally gravitate towards. You would have uploaded way more videos if you had someone else editing them. I don't think that's true, though it might be true because editing just takes so much longer that I would probably have more time to dedicate to making videos more if I didn't have to edit them. So I guess, yes, maybe that's true. It's not because I dislike editing, it just takes a long time. We're 35. No. I'm not 35. I'm not even 30 yet, and I don't want to be 30. I'm 29. You feel the sort of person whose favorite season is fall. Not only is my favorite season fall, nay, my favorite holiday is fall. Merch down below, shameless plug. Moash is your favorite. What the frick? No, Udi. He left this comment as a joke. It's not funny. This is serious. Screw that noise. Based on your hat choice, you're a pipe-smoking hipster who loves avocado toast. That is not true. I see. There's a world where that makes sense. I get what you're saying. I know where you're coming from. I neither smoke nor like avocados. I very much dislike avocados. Not only am I a bad hipster, which is what you're saying, I am also an awful millennial. And the last one I'm going to do, I've had to skip a bunch of, there's so many of these. The last one I'm going to do is, you too spent an inordinate amount of time trying to properly beat Star Fox 64. For those people that aren't video game people and don't know what that means, I'm sorry, but yeah. Yes, 100%. I have, oh my word, tried to rebeat some of those levels so many times to get the right random thing you need to do to get mission complete or accomplished over the other one so you can follow the right freaking path to see Star Fox's dad. That's me, 100%. You know what I'm talking about. I feel you. And that is where I'm calling it. I skipped a bunch of questions. There were so many. Thank you to everyone who submitted. I love you guys so much. I would rather have too many questions than not enough questions. Thank you for the experience that I've had on Booktube. I hope to entertain you and bring you valuable videos in some way for years to come. I would love to talk to you on the Discord. That link to the Discord is down below. I'd love to talk to you in the comments. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts on what I just said. If you like this video, please leave a thumbs up. If you happen to be seeing this video as your first video and you're not subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. I would love to have you part of this awesome community, this fun experience that I've been able to partake in. Thank you so much to those people that are here. You've made this wonderful. I hope that in return, I'm able to just put a smile on your face, make you laugh, let you know about books that I like or dislike. I hope to be able to provide some sort of entertainment or service to you. As you're going out the rest of this week, please go out and be excellent to each other. Do what you can to help somebody out, put a smile on their face. I love you all. Bye.
Sleep, no one ever get enough. Always looking out tired. Sleep, no one ever get enough. If it don't show up, I might get fired. Sleep, no one ever get enough. Always looking out tired. Sleep, no one ever get enough. If I don't show up, I might get fired.